Hello, welcome. My name is Sheep Thief, and today I'll be coming at you with a Warno 1v1 online multiplayer replay battle. I actually didn't record the live version of this, but yeah, welcome to this online 1v1 Warno Let's Play battle. Today we're playing on this new weird half city, half field map. Definitely a hellscape of a map. But anyway, let's look at the deployments really quick. It's me with the 35th versus Timur, cool name, with Berlin Command. Looks like he has scouts kind of fanning out in front of him, very wide deployment. I generally am pushing into the middle here. I don't quite know what the strategy here is, but I did see one video of a good player pushing for the middle as opposed to focusing on one of these two sides. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So here we go. By the way, he's playing the Berlin Command. So I was pretty light over here. I don't really know what these what this division does. I sort of feel like it has artillery, maybe, I'm not sure. So I move forward with a lot of Spetsnaz in the middle. Iglas to defend against any weirdness. Spetsnaz pushing up into this city over here to try to clear it. Some snipers right here to cover if he dumps a ton of infantry in here and they try to chase me out. Yeah, so it's just scouts moving forward for him. Definitely as an airborne division getting to the field first. These go forward pretty far, these Spetsnaz here. Wait, let me turn on the music. Wow, that's too loud. Hold on. Alright, so he does get a command post as my Spetsnaz move into this field over here, catching out his scouts. He does get vision, I think, of both of these, and these Spetsnaz are kind of in the middle of the field here, so I micro them in. Kind of get some damage on them because of the lack of cover there. Metis is over here to stop any push here. This is my first time reacting to this, so I had no idea he had so many troops over here. Bunch of pioneers, chieftains. So it looks like I pushed in here really hard. He must have redirected some of his units here to try to address this. A stinger, some pioneers. Scouts are going down. I feel like, hold on, there's something wrong with my sound here. Okay. So the Spetsnaz start pushing into the buildings, and they're going to have a really good time in here in this close quarters fighting. Engineered Dragon does make it through, but gets sprayed by the Spetsnaz. Scouts go down, and the incendiary rocket launcher does a lot of damage to that engineer squad. It's got two incendiary rounds left. And his infantry is looking worse for wear, but I'm backing these up into the buildings to try to make sure they're in cover. I think there's an option that I need to set that makes it so they go building to building, but mine just sort of walk along the streets, so I have to micro them really quick. Spetsnaz are going to win this with their machine guns. Dragon's just completely down. See, these Spetsnaz are just standing in the street, which is otherwise be a really good fight for us. Maybe. Yeah, microed quite properly. I decided to push forward, send more Spetsnaz in here. This line back here at this point should be pushing up. Spetsnaz are in position here to cut off any attack along here. Metis come in here, and the Iglas take out a helicopter, and I sort of overinvest in air. The double helicopter kind of spooked me out. Those look like pretty weak helicopters, so that was not like as scary as it would be. This big doesn't get hit by evacs. This big fires a shot off at the Harrier, and the Harrier walks over the Iglas, who are notoriously bad at everything, but they succeed in that. Another Harrier goes over the Iglas, and I think he just didn't quite expect so much AA to be there. The Harrier collapses down to the central avenue. I'm not muted, am I? No. Alright. So I've got fresh Spetsnaz coming in. These need to get resupplied. The positioning there is a little off. My opponent needs to be pushing around this side. He's being a little too static, if I may say, as someone who is way too static all the time. Spetsnaz are continuing to dominate this fight over here, although there are fewer troops here than I suspected when I went in for this. More troops over here. In retrospect, I should have been pushing forward here. I expected there to be way more troops here. He's made this kind of line in here. A little strange. What I've learned is to push up to the edge of the city, always be at the edge of the city. Like here, I don't quite have the troops, but my goal is to push along this line. Look at all the vision it has. This is, but and you see how I'm on the edge right here, but I was expecting there to be way more in there. So that's interesting. A lot of stuff over here. He does push forward over here and kills my Medicis, although they honestly do some decent work on this sapper squad. I, to be honest, wasn't paying attention to that. I was like really microing this really hard, which now I'm realizing was kind of stupid because there is like nothing here. These could be moving forward. It's a supply truck. And I start to build up in here to, again, build up that line. That's sort of what I'm thinking. Make a huge line along this. The points are even, but I bring up my CV, whatever. CP is a rather unfortunate acronym. Anyway, my CV gets this, and captures the command point. And yeah, this was totally I was totally unaware of this. Humvee goes down. Desantniki BMDs are, I was wondering about this. Okay, so these I don't want them on the edge because they just have rocket launchers. Like, they should be pushing forward. But there is a buildup of troops for my opponent here. I think maybe on my part, a lack of recon. I had no idea what was going on here. But we are getting the buildup, and we have this nice like urban approach. It'll be hard for him to mess with. He wraps around, so he was doing what he needs to do, just a little slowly, wrapping around over here. Big clump of infantry with some chieftains, and I am not responding at all over there. Over here, I should be pushing forward and at least probing a little bit. Send some Iglas to reinforce the AA net. I push in here, and he correctly is not over-investing into this. He's doing a great job of using a small amount of points to fend off my large amount of points. While he continues to sneakily, I'll show you. I had no idea. So, maybe some better recon coverage. Not really sure. But there's a big wraparound here. Command Chieftain comes out. Looks like there's a bit of a lull in the combat. As you can see, this line of defense here is just working out. The chieftain comes out under some kind of ATGM fire, and the sniper opens up on these light rifles. Huge build up on my right flank, as I sort of assume that he's in here being not doing anything. This is the danger of not probing. You don't quite know what's going on, and just a blob of infantry in here. It looks like he's set on occupying every single house. Some artillery might have been good for that if I'd known where it was. Definitely a lack of AA up here. Like a helicopter would be really good, but it seems like he noticed that and addressed it with stingers, or a stinger and a pivad. Oh, there's a rapier actually. I take that back. This is not radar. I'm still trying to learn all the things, which things have radar and which don't. He does get this command point back. We've gotten an okay tick. But definitely not good enough. I think we could have, like, at least started this fight over here and not let him build up like this over on this flank. When Abrams pops out, does get the thing. Metis fire starts to interfere with it. Trying to engage a BMD right there, and over here a fight. I push forward with my Spetsnaz. Just one unit of Spetsnaz is causing havoc. ATGMs are covering over here. Spetsnaz are starting to lose cohesion, but they've definitely sort of done well. Light rifles moving forward. Over here it looks like there's an engagement as he's pushed up to the edge. Aquila comes up and handles a bunch of stuff right there. A bunch of things that start going down for him. I moved the Spetsnaz back. I did a good job of keeping my units that are getting low back, going back to get healed from supply. And over here it looks like he begins his assault. At least with the Milan over there. Let's try to keep track of this. Laser guided bomb comes forward. This is like all of these Spetsnaz. You don't have that many Spetsnaz, so any Spetsnaz you can kill is worth it. The Nighthawk destroys the Metis over there, which I didn't notice as I was fighting over here, and definitely pushing forward. Desantniki BMD winning this engagement. Spetsnaz move forward. He's doing a great job of holding this with very few units, making me invest and invest and invest. I'm not doing such a good job of taking the point. Like, I should be taking the point right now. I don't have a I have a command vehicle moving forward, but I guess that's not too bad, because he did have that M1A1 right there. But I should be like engaging and taking the points. And paying attention over here. So my line is formed. Kind of surprised I'm sort of like surprised at how easily I'm taking this, which I thought, oh, I'm good. Instead I should have been thinking, uh-oh, I'm getting flanked. Definitely needed to be aware of what was happening over here. Get the tick again, and I should have backed it out and pushed into here. Sniper's starting to harass these units as they push up here. Exactly what I wanted. I'm glad that sniper was working like that. As you can see, I'm cycling the Spetsnaz that are out of ammo back to the command vehicles over here. Maybe a little far away, but whatever. Aquila is monitoring the situation. I send in a big supply helicopter to keep the helicopter's ammo consistently full. And yeah, in retrospect, I should have pushed here and started building up a defense here. Mainly probably ATGMs and maybe helicopters, although he does have 2 stingers. I think at this point 2 helicopters could have been good. Definitely an over-investment into here. I think some of it could have been diverted this way. And at this point, I think this is when I noticed at last what had happened over here. And maybe, actually no, I think I hadn't, I didn't, I think I was like, oh, he probably just sent like a meme unit to go do that. But I should have put 2 and 2 together that these 2 medices were gone. Even if like I'm making the mistake of over microing in here and not paying attention to the map, I should have been able to conclude that, wait, my 2 medices are gone. A meme vehicle wouldn't be able to make that. My medices were guarded against, I mean, multiple things, but including that. And so I'll show you what well, actually there's a fight happening. So we continue to push forward into this sort of city over here. Continue to not push forward up into here. It looks like the sniper did like single-handedly push it back. Laser guided bomb gets a Spetsnaz. Definitely not a loss I want to get. I have a seed that is pretty useless. I don't think he had any radar guided AA, so not too good. But this Nighthawk does end up taking a bunch of Igla fire and going down. Over here, Afghan C are engaging these Berlin rifles at pretty much ideal range. And there's a big air engagement where his 2 Nighthawks go down. And these infantry continue to just kind of go down to my units. Not definitely just these fights. I even strafe it with my planes. But at this point, okay, so I do send this over here to kind of, because again, I still thought it was like a meme vehicle. And so I just sent one over here to kind of stop that from happening, but just bad play on my part for not understanding that this was even here. Like truly, I did not know. Look, like what's happening over here? Need at least something over here. I've got this giant bulge. Look at this. Thessaloniki Metis getting kind of low. At this point I'm kind of like feeling good. I'm like, okay, I've pushed him out of the city. I don't know why. I shouldn't have been feeling as good as I was feeling. Laser guided bomb doesn't get its ordnance off and starts to circle. Standard stuff for laser guided bombs if you don't pay attention to them. Bad habit on my part. No, this is just terrible. And now my opponent is like, okay, time to, oh wait, what am I doing? Now my opponent is saying, wait, what's going on here? And starts flooding infantry into here. And there's a big fight. So Spetsnaz take a lot of damage from, it looks like howitzers, okay. Laser guided bomb goes off, maybe. Not sure where that went. Should be pulling that Spetsnaz back. But this, I think, is a good engagement for me. He's really blobbed up and kind of coming in, getting enveloped in here. A lot of this infantry goes down. Laser guided bomb destroys that building. Maybe not the best building to destroy, but we should. BMD goes down and that laser guided bomb goes down. Harrier cluster munitions come in and get its ordnance off? I think it might have. Took too much Igla fire. And now I have a problem because his flanking attack has reached this over here. And at this point, as I was like, oh nice, finally a fight broke out. And then I'm like, wait, what? And I've been completely flanked. Not cool. And at this point he does have like decent AA cover. 2 Stingers, a Mistral that hasn't been unloaded, and a Pivad and a Rapier. So this is not, like you can't just handle this with planes. I sort of, or helicopters is what I was hoping. We've done a lot of damage to him in here. Mi-24V pushes forward to kind of keep an eye on this. I was expecting the fight to continue here, but again, just wrong. Then I sent an Acula in. I was like, okay, so he sent a meme thing in here. You shouldn't. I think this is a huge mistake to push with an expensive unit like this, because it just like showed up and 2 stingers opened on it and completely destroyed it. Bunch of points gone right there, and at that point I was like, oh god, I think it wasn't until this moment that I realized the gravity of the situation, and I see my lead, which I'd sort of torturously built up with this infantry pushing in the city here. I'm not really sure why he isn't bombarding this infantry with artillery more too. But yeah, check it out. A lot of these units are moving back because they're low. I'm just pretty proud of that. Destroys that helicopter. And I try to like send like a commander forward. A lot of these are like delayed orders, so just not good. I try to get the metis forward, but it just loses all its cohesion because it's so close to this. Just misses all of it, and now I think it's, well, not quite. Lose vision because of its low cohesion and him backing up, and then my laser guided bomb doesn't go off. I think I targeted that and just missed, maybe because of low cohesion, not really sure. I think I was trying to target this building, which would have been a really good building to target, but I think he lost all his cohesion. And then, even though this is out of its laser guided bomb, I stop microing it and it goes over the stingers and nosedives into planet Earth. Over here, I'm almost like trying to scout, and at this point I'm like throwing. I didn't understand the gravity of the situation, so I've lost an Acula, laser guided bomb, and a fighter plane, and gotten absolutely nothing for it. And at this point I'm doing the right thing, which is just sort of setting up infantry on the edge to get an idea of what's going on. I think another thing that might have helped, I was floating a lot of points, another thing that might have helped might have just been getting my grads set up. The cluster bombs pretty much shut down the metis right there, which is what I would need, but we did take down the Harrier, which is a good thing. You can just see the AA coverage here is really nice on my opponent's part. Timur should be commended for that. Chieftain is destroyed finally by a metis squad, and Spetsnaz push forward. It always comes down to the infantrymen and the rifle, and the Spetsnaz push forward under fire and then use Dragon to kind of begin to cause some troubles here. More infantry pours on along this road, which is completely unguarded. What I need is like a Conqueror's setup. I need Conqueror coverage. I need infantry. Seed comes up and goes down. We're both throwing airplanes like crazy. Spetsnaz, but the something. I think that Seed might have some kind of air-to-ground munition, and it kills my Spetsnaz, which I think would have like cleared this up if I'd been a little better at that. We have our commander here to stem this point loss. Conquerors push forward. I still didn't quite understand that he didn't have any, or he only has 1 tank here, so I think I was expecting there to be more tanks than there were. It's just a lot of infantry. BMD2 is should be having a good time. I think it should be pushing up maybe here or something in retrospect. Saniki Metis pushing up, running into the Berlin Rifles, PSSEB, Grenadier Voltigeur. Not a good fight. Chieftain runs for its life and goes down. Nice shot by the Saniki BMD, I think we got that. And we do get our position back, and we have caused like a problem. Over here, I think I push... Okay, so I push forward with both of my groups now as I'm sensing kind of weakness and sort of seeing that he's reinforcing like that. So I give a general order forward to put pressure everywhere. A sort of counter push, if you will. Over here, huge wall of fire erupts over the city, and here the urban fighting begins. 3 big fights, we'll try to keep track of them. So over here it's like a fight with a bunch of Desantniki Metis and BMDs with a few BMD2s sprinkled in. Over here it's just a wall of Spetsnaz and Afghansi. One of the Afghansi I know did very well. Over here it's this sort of reinforced Berlin rifles that he sent up against my sort of hasty defense. Spetsnaz commander is almost dead. I'm trying to pull him out so that he doesn't die. Yeah, over here we win this fight. Over here it's much more hairy. We'll try to watch this fight and that fight. Yeah, just pretty much a slugfest. I think artillery would have been huge for me here. This one, we're taking, you can see everybody's just taking losses. A lot of my units are in cover, which is a mistake. I need to figure out that setting that makes them automatically move in cover. Over here we've won this, which it has to be like unnerving for him. It's sort of probably unrealistic to threaten this point, but he does have an M1A1 Abrams that's sort of commanding this this region now, and all of these units are getting really low. Definitely over pushing and not microing them into cover. Just low cohesion everywhere, lots of losses, but look at we are causing damage. I think if we'd done this earlier, we would have been happier. I think it was really good to attack like that because it did cut off the reinforcement of this and basically shut it down. This is now much more contained. We have our point lead back with a +2 actually, because we now have this. We pretty much have air dominance, and just trying to kind of hold here. Big clump of infantry here needs to be microed. Big clump here needs to be microed. Bunch of almost dead units pulling back slowly, trying to like get this under control. I've got helicopters refueling here. Got the Acula. Got this AA vehicle, which I think is cool. And we do finish this up and start to push forward. Yeah, just, I mean, there's so much going on there that I don't even quite know how to cast that. There's like a fight here, and a fight here. I think I strategically won that because I closed up this attack here that he had spent pretty much the whole game setting up. And then pretty much won these, like, took ground in these 2 fights, but did take substantial losses, and now I'm in danger of being, like, basically counter-attacked. As you can see, all of this is really low. I need to be pulling it back. A little late on getting the point, but it does bring me to a +3, putting the pressure on him. And at this point, I should get this and back up and heal, or at least get them in cover. Look at all these units. I'm in kind of desperation mood. That attack over here really unnerved me. But in retrospect, I think as messy as it was, I did mop it up. He comes forward with an M1A1 Abrams, and I should be chilling and just replenishing these units instead of charging forward like this. This M1A1 Abrams can pretty much shut this whole thing down right here. No one has any ammo. I don't see any Medices. These BMDs are never going to get in range with their RPGs, so need to pull back and resupply. Spetsnaz GRU, just everything needs to get in cover. It's bad. But we do have a +4 and air coverage. The artillery starts to rain down, but it looks like he's just using it for smoke to try to like meme the point. Yeah, and now as you can see, there's a counterattack, and pretty much my units here got cleaned up. So one thing I need to remember to do is when they're low, just pull them back. Just pull them back. Heal them. I was doing it so well in here, it's sort of a pity that I fed so many units in there. I sort of pull across here, realizing that this is maybe an overextension. And it does set up a nice flank in here for me. Sort of stabilize this line here. He's counter-attacked on my left flank rather successfully. He's sort of stabilizing the points now. He takes out my command vehicle too. I think I was down to 1 command vehicle at this point. Oh yeah, I did send this commander forward to try to take this out, and it just got killed by these things. So waste there. Sort of probing with the wrong units. I did the same thing with the Acula earlier. I get a helicopter over here to try to counterattack his counterattack, and simultaneously wrap around here in a pretty epic fight between 2 very beleaguered forces. Just, you know, moving forward. His units are all in cover. But he's like right-clicked them into one spot, and so he's getting completely enveloped. And then the Acula shows up, and this is just really that. This is a massacre. That should have been his fight. The Acula is just going to mess him up. Death is going on right there. His counterattack, my counterattack against his counterattack was, I think, more successful than his counterattack against mine. We completely enveloped and destroyed that force. He seems to be sending like all his infantry in at this point, and now I'm making the same mistake. These units need to just be brought back. The Acula is in good position. I think right here I did the correct thing and started trying to micro them into houses. These are just going to die. Spetsnaz's moving back. I think I'm moving some of them back to go heal, finally. And at this point, it is looking pretty good for me, but there is this, like, just giant push. Just a giant push. 2 helicopters are, like, shutting a lot of this down. And covering for my mistakes. I think if he'd had, like, 2 Stingers here, which he does, he's bringing them forward. Okay, so look, these 2 did get microed back, so these 2, like, poor Russians running for their lives across this ruined city. Stingers unload and start putting damage on my helicopters, but I'm not really paying attention to that. I should have been. Don't have our point lead anymore. The Stinger hits the M124 or Mi-1024. Acula is still firing, but the Stingers that's really all he needed. I think if he'd had those Stingers set up before that push, he would have won that. But yeah, I do a good job getting the wounded out. And he destroys one of my helicopters. I think he destroyed 2 helicopters actually. No, one of them got over here and healed. Acula gets out and heals. But at the same time I send an order forward. I was like, okay, you got healed, so come forward. I should have just kept him out. It just goes right back to where the Acula was. Comes under Stinger fire. Gets hit. Loses a ton of cohesion. Fails completely to kill the Stinger, and the Stinger kills it. Well played on my opponent's part. Big buildup of, or these are these AA things that do a fair amount of damage. They have a machine gun. I've noticed they don't really do damage. Like one of these like pivads and anti-aircraft, like anti-helicopter, old-fashioned AA weapons are. It's more that they stun infantry. Like I've like had games where infantry's running across the field and like 2 pivads are shooting at the squad and it doesn't kill them, but it stuns them and like does a little bit of damage. But it's more about the stun. So they can't handle infantry alone. They can't like kill infantry alone, but they will. Let's see if it happens here. Yeah, see, stunned. I think it could have been any of those units, but from my observations, the stun is what's good here. So he's get supplied, and look, all those units that were one hit are now ready to go back in. We get the +2 again once we get the Spetsnaz and the commander in there. And as you can see, I'm doing what I should have done a while ago, setting up Conkers. My opponent has 5 minutes left to try to turn this around, but it's looking pretty grim. That wrap around here where he lost all these forces here, and a lot of forces did get dumped into here. This flank attack was cleaned up, although it was well done, but it was cleaned up. Now he's launching rockets. He's basically doing the same thing that he did before, building up over here. I think sort of correctly realizing that this is lost. I get a command vehicle in here. I think that's, at this point I'm feeling pretty confident. I failed to unload these Skrezets. But I do get the point. Skrezets go down, pushes forward with a lot of infantry. And at this point, this is a lot. And I just, look, all those Skrezets go down, snipers go down. So this is his final attack. He cleans up the remaining forces in there, but I do have reinforcements because I did bring them back. Pull back the command vehicle just in case, because I think that might have been my last one. Nice use of smoke. Or, I mean, I don't know if that's nice use of smoke. I need to work on using smoke more, so any use of smoke, in my opinion, is nice. I don't know if it's if this was would be considered a good use of it. I'm not really sure. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's trying to get his, okay, so he gets his command vehicle in there. He's got 4 minutes to try to do this. He does have a big build-up here. I don't even quite, it seems like he gets these build-ups fast. I think it's sort of the nature of a tank division to be that way, and I think this is a tank division. So he pops out with a bunch of units here. Over here, he's pushing forward with a blob of infantry. We'll try to keep an eye on both of them. It's gonna be hard. I think over here, I'm not prepared for this amount of units, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's happening again. Aquila comes up. I remember I sent these Desantniks to just go kill that Stinger. This Stinger's out of ammo. Aquila is being cycled back to the supply helicopter to just get ammunition. And as you can see, it did cause a fair amount of damage, killing a lot of these infantry along the edge. He's sort of stuck in this middle area here. I bring a helicopter over here to try to handle this push, and it gets taken out by Pivads pretty quickly. And once again, I have been pushed from this side, but I'm pretty confident in my chances of winning. You'd have to like literally take over all my points. He brings the command vehicle into the sector. 2.5 minutes left. We're both just like not doing anything because we're sweating over here. Mortars start to come down. Not really sure where else. But now I do have some like Conkers, a Conkers web over here. A little bit of anti-air. Yeah. Okay, so I was assuming he'd go for that building with the mortars. Most of my air is dead. He has his pivots here, but not much else. This rapier is out of ammo. Stingers are pretty much gone. And yeah. Time's up. Ah, god damn it. This music is sick. balance of the game. He does control this this position, and he is getting a tick. But I think I've held the line. I think yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how I fought. I've been losing so much that maybe I'm just happy to get a win. I do, with the remainder of my points, I was floating a ton of points. I bring these attack helicopters forward. Just take a look at this. Cavalry is coming. Pivads open up on them. Disrupt a lot of them. Look at that. That is so sick. This game is awesome. I try to fight the pivads with the helicopters. And it takes a lot of fire before going down. Finally goes down, and now it's free fire. I need to remember to use those attack helicopters. They have like Rozvedka units in them too. So that was it. GG to my opponent Timur. We got more kills than he did. Look at how well these Spetsnaz did. And I think this is all from just bringing them back and replenishing them. We really dominated in air. Look at all these dead planes. Look at that. Spetsnaz again. This is like the amount of kills that I get on like an M1A1 ACAV with 11th Cav. Like this is crazy. Definitely pleased with how I'm using my Spetsnaz. Yeah, this one did alright. Spetsnaz Snipiri did really well. I felt like they were doing well, and it looks like they did. Acula did amazingly. Look at that. Look at all that. This might be the best unit I've ever... that might be a record for me for most successful unit in a game. If these are M1A1, maybe they aren't M1A1 Abrams. It seems like they might be weird special M1A Abrams. I don't know if they're better or worse. But if they're M1A1 Abrams, this is the most insane kill board that I've seen on a unit before. That is crazy. What else? These Afghansi, I'm so proud of these. I really like the Afghansi. They're good. I think they're really good for winning infantry fights. They're fairly cheap, and they're good at long range, so you can kind of sit back with them. And then at short range, they're not bad either. But you should like pull them back, but they can like hold their own in short range for a second. So these were really good. Like, how many points do you think that is? A lot. That's cool. Other than that, everything else sort of mediocre. Maybe the look at these Strezits. Got some good kills here. And the Afghansi again. That's perfectly good for an Afghansi. Paying for itself 2 or 3 or maybe more times. For my opponent, Stingers were, yeah, his Stingers were good. Grenadier Voltigeur, that might have been one of his pushes where he killed one of my weakened armies. Look at that. I think this is one of the throwing moments where I was like pushing forward. His tanks didn't do bad. Although these aren't like super important kills. This tank did well. That's 2 very important kills. That's always good. That's perfectly fine. That's always good. So this tank did well. And this Fox, not bad. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and if you guys have any comments or suggestions or anything or feedback, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.